In many of our videos, we talk about how shims dislodge through expansion and contraction, and over years can even walk away. So, why is that?
You see, thermal expansion causes all materials to expand and contract. Wood, steel, concrete, everything is affected by thermal expansion. Entire industries have been created fighting the effects of thermal expansion. Literally everywhere you look, you will see expansion joints allowing materials to move back and forth in a controlled fashion, all the while maintaining structural integrity. Consider wood flooring for a minute. All wood flooring manufacturers insist that a minimum of 1/4 inch expansion gap be left all the way around the perimeter of the floor where the floor meets the wall. If you do not leave this gap, you void the warranty. Why? Because they know
Without it,
that the floors will buckle as they expand and contract. This is nothing new in the fine woodworking industry. It's commonly referred to as wood movement. A quick Google search will result in hundreds of blogs dedicated just to that topic. Now, it gets worse. As these building materials are expanding and contracting, they do so at different rates. Depending on the wood, the grain, and the processing, 10 different materials will actually expand at 10 different rates, and at 10 different times. While one material expands one way, the other material could be expanding in a completely different direction. So as this is happening, your cabinets and shims are actually moving back and forth, and in different directions.
and remember, the wedge is going to find the path of least resistance. It's not going to crawl back under the load. So unless the shims are properly secured to the floor or the cabinet, those shims will become useless within a few months. They may be close, they can't be load-bearing, that's for sure. And by the way, do the shims actually walk away? Do they actually move a few inches away from where they were originally positioned? Absolutely they can. Not every time, but a lot of times. I've seen it. That's how we discovered it. Installing new granite, taking out the old tops, looking down in the hole, those shims were nowhere near where they were originally positioned. And it took us a while until we considered the physics. Kinetic friction, a force that opposes the movement of two solid surfaces sliding past one another. If there was zero friction, it would just expand and contract like a rubber band, back and forth, right? But it has that friction where the two surfaces meet, so it gets stuck. Dust, dirt could cause it. How about a heavy cabinet with granite on top? Do we really expect that shim to push its way back under the cabinet, lifting the load? No, of course not. Like anything in nature, the shim is seeking the path of least resistance. Now, let me reiterate, this happens very slowly, month over month, year by year, and at first you really don't see or notice much because at first we're talking about millimeters. But that's not what we want for our granite and cabinets, right? Our foundation needs to stay in place forever under any circumstances. So what's the solution? Well, if you're using shims to level your cabinets, glue or nails, or a quality leveling system. The easy levels have both a front and a rear leveler, and they're independently adjusted by the two rods that you see here. And they mount securely to and under the sidewalls of the cabinets, making sure that everything is load-bearing for a lifetime.
We had a conversation on Facebook at one point, and the question of wood movement came up, and Patrick said I don't remember exactly what he said, I couldn't find the quote, but he wanted to know if the concern over wood movement is a bit overblown. But the truth is, yes, you do have to worry about wood movement, always. So to sort of more directly answer the question if wood movement is necessary, let's look at a couple of boo-boos. You guys may remember the rustic outdoor table site a couple of months ago. Although the breadboards don't quite look as good as they did on day one, this is what the breadboards look like today. Each side has shrunk down by about 1/4 inch, so that's a full 1/2 inch movement across that top. We attach the slices, and now they have, think about a concrete situation where you have those expansion gaps between the pieces, and that's what was necessary to get this thing to survive the seasons. All right, so unfortunately, yeah, you do need to pay attention to wood movement.
I know as a beginning woodworker, I really never thought about expansion and contraction of the materials I was working with. So what I always do is I always build in just a little bit of expansion room in my projects, regardless of what they are. And this one was no different. When it comes down to it, wood movement is something you really do need to think about with any of your projects, because it's something that can really take something that looks amazing and turn it into something that's like, well, we could burn it. That would always be fun, maybe for a nice campfire or something.